Hey everyone, welcome back to Scotty Might Know, the Broke Urban Farmer. Today I want to discuss what my dreams and goals are. I've always been considered a dreamer. My family have criticized me over it for years and years, and I never cease to dream big. And this YouTube channel and this urban farm, this urban homestead is no different. I'm dreaming big. I'm going for it, and I'm taking you guys along with me. But I want to just kind of lay out and discuss what my short-term goals are, what my long-term goals are, what my dreams, hopes, plans are, and kind of lay it all out there and just hopefully get to take you along the journey and see it from now to fruition. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so my first goal with this whole project is to become more self-reliant. I'm not going to become self-sustaining right away. That's a long-term plan. But self-reliant, learning different skills, growing different things that make me rely less on big box stores, on other people, and other things. Like, I want to be able to, my first goal is I want to learn skills that makes me more self-reliant, that I don't need to have my my grandma can things for me, that I don't have to have help when creating and making new dishes to eat for dinner, that I don't need someone to help me build a fence to keep my animals in a pen, that I don't need someone to help me patch the roof in my shed, which is something I'm going to have to learn how to do here soon. Like, I want to be more self-reliant. I want to learn these new skills, develop these, harness them, and be productive with them, and not have to rely or pay someone else to do them for me. As you can tell by the title of my channel and from other videos, I am a poor person. I am broke, essentially. I mean, I'm very blessed. Don't get that confused. But I don't have a big disposable income. You know, my money and my wife's money were tied up in, life. And so we don't have a lot of money to spend on extra things or to fix things or to, if perfect example, my hot water heater went out, and I didn't have the money to just call a plumber and electrician to come and put in a new one and hook it all up for me and make it work. So I had to make it work. So I did a little bit of research. I found a tankless water heater that I wanted. I thought I had gotten all the same specs and got it all hooked up, but as my old one, and I went to go hook it up and it didn't work. And then I fiddled around with it some more and it worked a little bit, but it didn't really work. And I just kind of kept messing with it, and I finally got to a point where I knew I was outside of my skill set. So I hunted around on a Facebook group, and I found, ended up being a guy that I used to go to high school with. He was a few years younger, and he is an electrician, because that was the issue I was having. The plumbing was easy. I got that all taken care of, no problem. It was the electricity. Well, he comes, gives me some advice, takes a look at it, and says, oh yeah, you just got, this is hooked up incorrectly, and this wire size is wrong. So he helped me and showed me how to change the wire, how to hook it back up correctly, and now that is a skill that, well, maybe won't be great at, but now I can kind of maneuver my way around it. He had told me different things that I had already done that were right, And just that process of learning a new skill and now relying less on somebody else is huge. It's huge for me. Also this year, just from harvesting in the garden and learning and preserving and learning new ways to save, I've learned how to make peach roasted tomato and peach salsa. Never would have known how to take fresh fruit and turn it into a salsa. And to keep it to where it can be stored. And I have made tons and tons of pickles because I have 2 cucumber plants and they are just producing like crazy. As you can see, there's some up here, down here, and I've got 10 more down here to put in. And so I'm learning and I'm creating new food to last me more than just a season. So typically with my garden, we grow it, we eat it, and that was it. But now we're growing it, we're canning it, preserving it, and we'll have it a lot longer. And that is an invaluable skill to me. Like, I had grown up watching my grandmother can, and it just seemed like such a scary process, the threat of botulism and all that. And now, slowly learning these skills and abilities, I'm becoming a little bit more fearless when it comes to preserving my own food. And I absolutely love that I have that ability. You know, it's just, there's something to it when you learn how to grow something and then learn how to make it into something new and preserve it. And you know that in 6-7 months, when you need something that you grew in your garden, you have it. Like the pickles, like these jalapenos that I pickled, like these peppers here that I learned how to dehydrate, like the chili peppers that I turned into chili powder. Like, I don't have to go to the store for these things anymore. There's something that I already have a skill set and a knowledge and the ability to grow and produce. I make a little bit more room in the cabinet here for move out some of these empty jars and move in some full jars. It's just, so that is my first goal, being more self-reliant. Like, and I'm constantly learning new things. I mean, I'm not going to survive solely off of pickles and peach salsa and jalapeno peppers, but it is a start. And I think that is the key. And then while I'm at it, learning new ways to prepare fresh vegetables as well. So, goal number 1, learning to be more self-reliant and the skill sets to rely less on people. Going along with the being more self-reliant was building new things. I've never built an animal pen before, but when I got the rabbits, I knew that I wanted them outside in a grass patch area, not cooped up in a metal cage or anything like that. So I knew I had to build something. And while the structure I have showed you so far is just a temporary structure, I'm going to have to learn how to build a more suitable hutch enclosement for them. It's not something I currently have a skill set for, but I'm going to learn how to do it. I figured out how to make a countertop while it be rough and a little uneven. It fits my aesthetic, and I did it all myself. And then that's just one of the goals I have. And moving on to kind of what my dream is, I've got a current dream and then I've got long-term dream. My current dream is to build up my current property as much as I can. Raised beds, learning more vertical growing, fitting as much space or much things into my small space as I can. My property is only 50 feet by 100 feet. It's plenty of space to do a lot with, but it's not a massive farm. And then on with building up this particular property, I have the perfect spot for a greenhouse in the back. It gets an insane amount of sun. It's east facing, south facing. It's got sun literally all day. There's no shade to it. It's fantastic. And there's nothing there currently. It's all grass. So it'll be really easy to build up there. And I have that goal. I've been on Pinterest looking up different plans and models and schematics for it, and I think I'm going to do like a 2x4 frame type situation and then find some greenhouse fabric. But I don't have a budget for it. My goal is to be able to accomplish this for less than $50. Realistically, I'm going to try and budget $100, but I won't have more than that to commit to it. So for that, the greenhouse. And then the next step with that would be, I have fallen in love with growing from seed and just that process of nourishing the seed and preparing it and getting it to grow. So I want to grow and sell plants. That'll be and eventually. Obviously I want to learn more about heirloom seeds, and I've really fallen in love with Baker Creek, so I want to learn more about what they have to offer and stuff like that as well. But that's a fairly easy goal to obtain. Also, I need to look into, with my current property, rainwater collection, because I'm on city water and it's expensive to water a garden. Composting. I was on a live chat the other day, and my city has some setback requirements and other things that are a little concerning about putting in a compost. I don't want to put something in and then be told I can't have it there. But composting in little bins essentially is what I'm kind of looking at, as in like the plastic containers and stuff like that. And then even starting a worm farm to have worm casings to put in. And then let's see. Okay, so that really kind of sums it up with my home property. What I want here, I want, essentially, I don't want to be able to mow when I am done. I'll have enough garden space and raised beds and other things used up to where I don't have to mow. And so I mean, I have a lot of space to fill in. I want fruit trees, and I want to expand on the fruit and vegetables and herbs and all of that. And then kind of long-term-ish. This would be a more obtainable long-term goal than my actual long-term goal. So my next goal or dream would be, while staying in town, living at my current property, finding other empty city lots to either rent or acquire on like a rent-to-own type basis or something like that, because I don't have money to go and buy empty property. And converting those lots into gardens as well. And then creating essentially like a garden network, having my house as like the home base, and then I've got the several different yards across the city. And my town's not very big, so it's not going to be a big deal to drive across town or what have you to accomplish this. There's actually a perfect plot right across the street from me here. I've already contacted the owner. They're not interested in allowing me to use it as a rental. They're not interested in allowing me to use it as like a crop share type thing where I grow and they get part of it. They just want to sell, and I don't have the money for that, even though they did offer me a really reasonable price. But essentially that'll be my next step, is to try and find empty lots that are reasonable. I don't have a bunch of disposable money to spend on lot rent and stuff like that either, so I need to find people that are willing to do like a share crop or something like that. But that kind of sums up my short-term goals with my urban homestead. The house that we have here, we bought 5 years ago, and we got it was a foreclosure, and we only paid $13,400 for it. That is really cheap. We still had to take out a mortgage for it. We are still paying on it, but we're getting pretty close to done on that. And we have a plan that we're getting ready to put into place to kind of even speed that process up even more. But projects have taken a long time. As you saw, I just got to painting my kitchen cabinets. That's been neat. Like, that's been a project that's been needed. Kitchen remodel, flooring remodels, all of that has been needed since we moved in. But the house was clean, it was livable, and we didn't need to have a fancy home. Now we're trying to slowly fix up those things as I'm on my journey to becoming more self-reliant. So with this property, if we get it paid off, it's really appealing to be able to stay at a property you have paid off and not have any kind of mortgage or payment or anything like that. So growing the garden network that I've coined would be a really awesome urban idea. I live in a small farming community, but it's actually not easy to get fresh raised produce. We have a farmer's market on Wednesdays, which is, the vendors there are wonderful and they're really trying, but it's just not well developed. So that is my short-term goal. Long-term dream would be obviously to own a big farmstead out in the country and be completely self-sustaining. No electric bills, no water bills, no gas bills, none of that. It would all be self-sustaining from the property using solar and wind, and ideally, if I could find it, having some sort of creek or water source and using some hydro in there as well. But essentially, the big dream, the goal would be to have my own property and have acquired all the skills to be completely self-sustaining and not reliant on somebody else. Coming from a poor background, it's extremely frustrating when you get a shut-off notice on a bill or something gets turned off on you, and you're like, well, dang, I've worked so hard, I have so little money, and nobody is willing to work with you, to help you, to do anything like that. Finally, we are in a spot where we're not having to deal quite with that, but it's still like, it's just so frustrating that I'm reliant so much on other people under other industries. Like, there are ways for me to produce my own electricity. Why should I have to pay an electric company? So that's the big goal, is to be able to, someday have some massive property out in the country and be completely self-sustaining, not needing to work a job to pay bills because I wouldn't have any bills. So that's kind of the long and the short of my goals and dreams and wants. And we're starting small here, starting slow. but you know, I found this community on YouTube, and it's amazing. I am so hopeful that that this dream and these goals will become realities. And I'm so excited to grow and share and learn all these new things with you guys. So for now, that's what I got. I look forward to sharing more videos here in the near future. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell icon to get notifications when I upload. I upload at least every Monday, and so far I've been able to keep up with Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we'll see if that is something that can be maintained. I work a couple different jobs, and so does my wife, so we busy people. But for now, that's what I've got. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye, y'all.